It is a beautiful day in the Turks and Caicos Island, and it's also a great day to be talking real estate with you as well. With that said, welcome to Let's Talk TCI Real Estate. I must remind you that Let's Talk TCI Real Estate is a show that speaks about real estate in the Turks and Caicos Islands, but it's also a show that allows you to ask questions and get those questions answered as well about any subject that we are talking about on that day. Right, so please remember, put your comments in the comment section, and if you have a question, feel free to put it in and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. All right, I always like to start by just saying thank you so much to my guest from the previous show. And last guest I had on the show was Monique Delancey, and she shared about her first time home buyer experience. It was a wonderful show. She gave a lot of great ideas and great tips for someone who was looking to purchase a home for the first time, especially about the mortgage process in that scenario. So if you did not have an opportunity to view that show while it was live, you can always go back on the Facebook page, which is obviously Real Estate with Vernica Delancey, or you can view it on my YouTube channel, which is Vernica Delancey, to go and catch the show again. And if all fails, and if you have a question about what was said or a question about today, please feel free to send me an email on v.delancey@kw.tc, and I'll do my best to answer your real estate question, right? So today's episode of Let's Talk TCI Real Estate, we are going to be talking about condos and townhomes. And I would like to know, what do you know about condos and townhomes? And definitely, like I've said before, if you have a question, please put it in the comment section, because that's what I am here all about today, to talk to you about it, but also to get information from you in regards to the same topic. I'm here to help you as well. All right, so please, let's talk about condos and townhomes. First, I'm going to talk about condos, and then I'm going to talk about townhomes, okay? So let's start with condos. Obviously, I'm looking at my phone because I'm also checking to see if you send any questions so that I can answer those questions for you. So basically, a condo is really rooms that are privately owned by individuals. And these rooms, even though individuals own them, they actually share the common area. So basically, let me repeat that again. Condos are actually rooms that are privately owned by individuals, but these same individuals share a common area. All right? These common areas may include things such as, the pool area, tennis court, just lounge area around the development. So anything that is used by all the individuals in the development is considered the common area, okay? And talking about common area, it brings me to the point about strata. So when you think about a condo, you must think about paying strata fees. The first thing I want to say about strata fee is that depending on the development, that strata fee may differ. And there's different factors that would help to determine why a strata fee may differ. First of all, strata is determined based on the square footage of the condo development. So for example, if you are in a studio unit, your strata amount will be less than you're paying if you're in a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom condo development, okay? So even though the price for square foot is set, so for example, in a condo development, you may have strata from $7.50 per square foot up to, say, $15 per square foot, right? So, but obviously, if you do it based on that, a studio, which is a smaller size, will always be less than a 1 or 2-bedroom with a larger square footage. All right, just to give you an idea of sizes of a studio unit, just for reference sake, most times you can find a studio around 350 square foot up to 700 square foot, depending on the development, right? So I hope that is clear. So basically, like I said before, strata is determined by the square footage of the unit. Also, some resorts, like I say, may differ with strata amount, because if a resort has more amenities, then that is something to consider. So you have more common area spaces that you have to account for. Okay, some resorts may just have pool areas where you have, again, like I said, may have gym spaces, tennis courts, spa areas, and the like. So that's also going to affect what your strata is in a development. So that's something very important you must think about when you are thinking about purchasing a condo unit. Okay. One thing I also would like to talk about with strata is that sometimes when you are quoted a price for a strata, you need to ask the company if insurance is also included in that price. You do have your strata costs and you have your insurance costs. Okay, some developments put it all together and give you one cost. Some developments separate it. So that's a very good question you can ask when you're looking at investing in a condo. Does this strata fee also includes insurance? So on a note about insurance, please note that insurance is actually, again, for the common areas for the outside of your building. Okay, so in the event of a hurricane or in the event of any natural disaster or anything else, it is covered. Now, when it comes to content insurance, which is a separate note altogether, the owner of the condo development is responsible for content insurance. Some developments will work along with you by assisting you in acquiring that content insurance, while other developments may allow you to go out to private insurance companies and purchase private insurance for your content. But that's your choice as to how much of a content insurance you want to have. All right, so that's a very important point when thinking about strata, insurance, content insurance. Okay, another thing about being in a condo development you want to think about is management. Every development, condo development, has a management company. Some condos makes it mandatory that you must use the management that is on site, while there are few condos that allows you the option not to use that management company and to actually use a private management company to rent your units. I hope I'm clear what I'm saying that. So there's always a management company on site. And like I said, about 90% of condos say that you must use the management company on site. While just about 10% say, I'll give you the option for you to outsource the management. So we'll talk about that outsourcing of a management after we're talking about the on-site management company. Okay. Now you may ask, well, why would a development, if I am purchasing the condo, say that I must use the on-site management? Well, there are a number of reasons why management companies in these condo developments say that it's mandatory. Okay. Well, and I think the overall consensus is because of consistency. The management company wants to ensure that there is a consistent product. Can you imagine if you have purchased in a brand name resort like the Ritz-Carlton, and you are allowed to, every individual owner is allowed to manage their unit in any form of fashion that they like. You will have inconsistency with the brand. Most developments has a brand, a standard, and they would like to see that standard that is delivered to all of their guests as they come into the development. A clear example is if you are allowed to rent and you are allowed to set your price. You may have one owner setting a price, I'm just using a reference, for a condo unit at $450 a night, while another condo owner may try to lowball it and then set that same condo price at about $250 per night. So you're gonna have discrepancies in price, and that doesn't look good on a condo development. Also, perhaps the person who was giving you the unit at $250, they may not be giving you those perks, right? So you may not have poolside service towels or drinks at the poolside, whereas the person who is charging $450 per night is actually giving you hot towels to the pool. They're giving you complimentary drinks and the like. So that's just an example to show you how allowing owners to manage at different levels could create inconsistency. So one of the main reasons is for the management company to have a bit more control over the product that you are investing in, and to ensure that this product is actually received by the guest in the most perfect or the best light possible. So when you think about management companies, that's something you want to think about. Also with some resorts, because I'm talking about the management company, they may say to you that because of trying to keep consistency, you have to have a certain furniture package. I'm mentioning this because sometimes you go in a condo unit and you see things that you want to change up. Definitely, as a condo unit, you are responsible for everything on the inside of the condo. That's something you should always remember. You're responsible for everything on the inside. The strata is responsible for the expense and everything on the outside. That's what your strata cost covers, okay? So sometimes management company, even though there may be a set furniture package or whatever, you will be responsible for it. But the purpose of keeping it set is, again, for consistency. All right, I hope I'm not speaking too fast, and I hope that you are actually understanding the information. All right, this exercise is really to get you familiar with the concept of condos and townhomes in Turks and Caicos Islands, so that you can know definitely if this is something that you can venture into or this is something that you prefer not to. But it isn't as scary as it sounds. We'll talk about some of the benefits in a minute, okay? Another thing I want to mention about condos, whenever you are selecting a condo development, you would want to read the bylaws. Every condo, of course, has its own bylaws. The reason for this is to know your do's and your don'ts. And this is going to help you also to narrow down if this resort is appropriate for you. So, for example, there are some condo developments that allow pets, some that do not. So if this is something that you feel that is close to your heart, then you need to make sure, ask your agent, does this condo development allow pets or not? Okay, so that's for a lot of people that's important. I'm just using some of the obvious reasons. Another thing about getting to know and understanding what's the bylaws, there are some condo developments that actually, I wouldn't say restrict ownership, but also is more focused on renting than it is on owners residing in the development. So you need to know that up front. So if you are a purchaser who is not just thinking strictly investment and you're thinking about getting a condo for you to live in, then you want to ensure that the bylaws conforms with that whole idea of you being an owner or occupying that unit for the complete year without renting it out. So these are things you will want to make sure of when you are looking for details in the bylaws. Okay? Right. So when we were talking about the management company, again, like I just wanted to backtrack a little bit as I just remembered something about it. The management company does charge a fee if you are in a condo development. So normally the management company is responsible, again, for ensuring the overall management of your unit. Definitely, right? They're going to deal with all the repairs and maintenance. Of course, they're going to confer with you first, but they're going to take full control over doing all of that on your behalf. So it's not a hassle to you. So there is a management fee. In some development, you can be looking at 50-50 split or 50-50 split. While in other developments, you can be looking at a 60-40 split. So that 60% goes to the owner of the condo and 40% goes to the management team. So normally it's 50-50 or 60-40. Okay, so that's something you need to think about when you're dealing with the management companies, right? Within condo developments, you have it where some resorts close down during the slow periods of the year for maintenance. Okay, so you don't have to worry about, okay, when will my unit be repaired or when, upgraded or do all of these things. So if there are any major improvements that need to happen to the development, the whole management team will wait until the slow season to be able to do all of those repairs and maintenance. Okay, another really important point to know about owning in a condo development, you should pay attention and you must always ask if there are any upcoming assessments. For the most part, most times there isn't, but you would want to know that. You do not want to get into a development, just say you purchasing it literally today, and next month there is a assessment that you didn't account for. So that's a fair question that you can ask if there are any upcoming assessments. Also, another fair question is something you can ask how is the reserve for the condo development? If the condo development has a strong reserve, that is really good, because sometimes you know that perhaps you as an owner do not have to come out of pocket for as much money to deal with certain repairs if the condo development is in a good position with its reserves. All right, so find out if there are any assessments, find out about the reserve of the development. And obviously, if the agent doesn't know, they will also use the opportunity to reach out to the management company to get that information for you. Okay, sometimes that information is not readily available because it depends on when the annual general meeting happened or is happening, but that's something definitely that an agent can find out for you. Okay. When it comes to condo development, one of the things I to say to persons about when they're buying condos is really think about what you want out of the condo. All right, and this is where I want to go back when we originally started talking about condo developments that allows you must use the management, and there are developments that you do not have to use the management. Okay, so for instance, if you are in a development where the management company is not mandatory that you use them, I know a lot of people tend to do that because they may just want to be able to rent themselves. Some people feel like they can maximize their return on their investment by doing the rental themselves. So like I said, there's a handful of properties like that, but the majority are where you must use the management. Okay, so that's something you would want to think about. Those condos. Now, those developments may not necessarily be on the beach, but that doesn't mean it's taking away from the quality of the investment that you are looking to do. Now, rental is very important to a lot of people when they get condos. All right. So in talking about rentals, I guess let me say, one of the benefits of having a condo, people be like, that you have strata fees, but a benefit of having a condo is that it does give you an opportunity to actually own something. It gives you an opportunity to be able to use that condo, and also at the same time when you're not using it, be able to rent it out. And just talking about that, that's why in Turks and Caicos we refer to the condo concept as more like a condo-tel. So it's a condo-tel because you actually own the unit, but it's rented like a hotel, when you're not using it. So it's like a condo-tel, right? Now, if you purchase a condo, like I said, you can rent it out when you're not using it. And that's gonna help you to manage some of your strata costs. So this is something I like to say to people, because sometimes when you're looking at a condo, you said, oh my gosh, perhaps my strata is too much money. But you have to look at it as that. Look for the rental statement. If that unit is currently rented, take a look at the rental statement, and that statement is going to be able to give you an idea about the revenue that comes into that unit, and if it's able to carry the cost of that unit. There are some condos that actually may just break even, but it's carrying your costs. Whereas there may be some condos that will make a little return on their investment. Okay, so that's where the rental statements will come in. And in regards to rental statements, I believe that everyone has their own method of determining, the rental history. But I believe that the data for the last at least 2 years is usually the best data. So we're in 2023. We're just in the first quarter. So I want to see what the first quarter is doing. But also I want to see what 2022 revenue had brought, what type of revenue that condo development would have brought in for 2022. When you start going so far back, like 2019 or 2018, in my opinion, sometimes it doesn't really matter, because the market is constantly changing. So if that's something, you have to understand what the market is doing to know how far back to go in terms of comps. But definitely you would want to be in your current year and at least 1 or 2 years back to be able to see what the market is doing in terms of the rental income on that condo unit. All right, and definitely it will show you if it's covering your costs for those strata fees, or if it's not, and definitely what type of return you are making on that investment. Okay, so that's about condos. So why purchase a condo? Condo is a good second home for some people who just want to have a place. A condo is actually a great investment opportunity, especially in the Turks and Caicos Islands. If you want to test the market out, you can try to find something that is more reasonable. You can decide on a condo. And obviously, like I say, also real estate in the Turks and Caicos Islands, the values are appreciating. So, starting off with a condo, you could not just think about the rentals now, but also think about how much that unit is going to appreciate in the future. Okay. Being in a condo, it also allows you to have access, like gives you access. When I say to the beach is, just for clarification purposes, the beach is public and everybody has access to the beach. But what I'm talking about is that you may not have the means in order to have a home on the beach because of the prices of beachfront land and build a house. But being in a beachfront condo development gives you that feeling, because you can purchase a beachfront unit in a condo development for a less price than purchasing the land and building a home. So it gives you that. Also, one of the things that condos does give you is that secure feeling. Sometimes if you are on vacation, you want to be in a secure location, or if you are investing on an island you're not familiar with, being in a condo development will also give you that feeling. Okay? Like I said, if you have any questions or if you have any comments, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer. So let me give you an idea about price point with condos. So in the Turks and Caicos Islands, I'm going to be upfront with you. Purchasing properties is not always the cheapest venture, but you can find studio units currently on the market from $259,000 and up. Of course, but at that price, you know that development is not on the beach. If you are looking for a studio that is in a beachfront development, you could be looking also around $450,000 to $500,000, depending on the development that you're in. If you're looking for a 1-bedroom, you can be looking at around $450,000 and up. If you are looking at a 2-bedroom, you can be looking at around $749,000 and up. Also, just know at $749,000 a 2-bedroom, you may be in a resort development that is just back from the beach. Okay, and if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, if you're not on the beach, that's around $975,000. But if you want to be on the beach, you're going to have to be looking at $2 million. Okay, I hope I wasn't too fast in stating those numbers. So just let me repeat. Studio unit, you could be looking at around 250, 259. One bedrooms around 450,000. Two bedrooms, you're going to be moving up to at least around 750,000. I'm just giving approximate values. Three bedrooms up to 975 for three bedroom. But just like I say, disclaimer, three bedroom at that price, that means that development is not on the beach. Okay, but doesn't mean it doesn't have beach access. If you want more accurate numbers, definitely I can pull stats as to more accurate numbers of what these condo developments may cost. And remember, it's all based on inventory. So what's available now, prices may change as to what is available later. Okay, right. So that's just a big synopsis about condos. One last thing I want to say about condos, and again, if you have any questions, let me know. There are condos that you can actually live in that you don't have to rent. Some people are concerned, well, if I purchase a condo, do I have to rent it out? There are some resort developments that allows you to purchase a condo, you own it, and live in it for as long as you want. Whereas there are some resorts that's really about helping you to get a return on your investment, so your living opportunity is more limited. Okay, and so I'm mentioning that because you have products just like, say, like the Pinnacles or the Mansion. These are condo developments that if you are an owner and you just want to have the luxury of living in a condo, you can do that. And it's more like a community homey feel doing that. Whereas you want to be in a resort to get a return on your investment, then there are separate condos that allow us for that. Okay, all right, I hope that is clear. Now, townhomes. Townhomes are just basic in my view. I would consider townhomes as just being like housing development, but you're sharing a wall. So where two or more houses are attached. That's basically what a townhome is. But the good thing about a townhome, a lot of people are attracted to townhomes because it's a smaller development and a smaller community feel. And a lot of people really gravitate to townhomes also because it gives you more of a homey feeling in most cases than a condo would normally do. All right. Just so you know, there is also a strata that is associated with a townhome. However, the strata in most cases is much more manageable and much less than you would have in a condo development. One of the main things about that is because, number one, there are less units, but not only that, the amenities is not as much as you would get in a condo development. So whereas in a condo development, as I mentioned before, you would have amenities such as tennis courts, pool, like 2 or more pools, restaurants on site, gym, spa. When you're thinking about a townhome development, most times you just have a pool and probably a barbecue area or a hot tub. So there is less things to maintain. Of course, you have to maintain the landscaping, and that's why the cost is less, because there are less things that you have to maintain. All right. So there's another good thing about townhomes that attract people to townhomes. Townhomes also, like I said, like a condo, gives you that security feeling, but it gives you a security feeling because, like I said, it's in a gated community. But also, townhomes, you do not have an actual management company on site. So this allows you now, for that buyer who wants to rent it on their own, you can rent it on your own. Some people feel like this is a better fit for them. I've come in contact with persons who are just really good at marketing their own property, and therefore they decide to opt with a townhome, right? Disclaimer, you can also use any other property management company on island, and they can also manage your townhome. Some people feel that they get a better return when they are able to manage their investment on their own. So if you are that kind of buyer, perhaps a townhome may best suit you versus a condo where you have to be in the rental management program. Okay. Now there are 1 or 2 townhomes that I have come across that does have a management on site, but it was really a development that the developer had control of all the units, and therefore he had a management company that was in place, and that's how he decided to sell the townhome with that management in place. So there may be 1 or 2 townhomes like that, but for the majority of townhomes, you can look to see that it will give you that opportunity to be able to rent it on your own. Okay. And definitely, if you are looking for a more homey feeling, like I've said before, then perhaps a townhome is best suited for you. Okay. So, that's really what's going on with a townhome. And if you compare the townhome with a condo, therefore, you would realize that most townhomes has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2.5 baths. So that space, you are actually paying less in common area that you're going to pay for that same square footage in a condo development. All right. So that's really, some of the things that I would want to say about townhomes. You would ask me, I guess I should give you an idea of some pricing on what type of pricings you can get in a townhome. Pricings in a townhome. If you're not on the Grace Bay, of course, you can look for townhomes roughly around 580,000, for a townhome. But if you're going to be in the Grace Bay vicinity, you can definitely be looking up to 700,000 and up for a townhome. That all depends. It's a 2-bedroom. There are 3-bedroom townhomes that are also available. Okay, but overall, that's the type of prices that you are looking at. And another very big benefit of a townhome is that your flexibility and stay, I think, is greater than if you are in a condo development. A lot of owners really want to use their unit, and I think that's what a townhome will give you an opportunity to do. All right. So, yeah. Now you may ask, well, which concept do I prefer? I think it all depends on the owner, what that owner is looking to get out of what they are trying to achieve. If I am a travel agent and I have the capacity of booking my own stays, I definitely probably would choose a townhome because I know that I can help to increase my income. However, if I am a person who, for me, it's just about the lifestyle, and it's just about me having the privilege of being in the Turks and Caicos Islands and vacationing in the islands, then I probably would just deal with a condo, because I don't want to deal with any maintenance. I don't have to set up anything. I just want to go into my condo. I just want to enjoy the beach. I just want to enjoy the view, and I just want it to be closed up when I have left and headed back home. So it all depends on what it is you are looking for. Both of them are really great options. Don't shy away just because of the strata fees. Take a look at the rental statements. If you don't understand the statements, ask your agents to go over it with you. And I think that's the key. Going over the rental statements and really understanding what type of revenue the unit can bring in. Okay? I think that's really it. So if there aren't any questions, please let me know. If there aren't any questions, like I said, I'm only on here to share information with you about the subject, which is about townhomes and condos. A lot of people start trying to run away from it, but you shouldn't run away from it. It's all about understanding the product, knowing how it can work for you, and what you need to do to make it work for you, and then taking it from there. All right. So with that said, I always enjoy talking real estate, and I am so grateful. Like I've said before, if you're listening for the first time, thank you so much for listening. And if you are a repeat person who has been listening, thank you so much for always being a part of the show. Please feel free to reach out to me with any of your questions or concerns, and always I will be more than happy to answer those questions when they arise. So until next time, I always like to say to you, stay safe and remain blessed. Have a fantastic Thursday afternoon in this beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands. Thank you for watching. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this show belong solely to Let's Talk TCI Real Estate and not that of Keller Williams TCI. Provided on this show is strictly at your own risk, and Let's Talk TCI Real Estate guest or host will not be liable for any losses and damages in connection with the use of the material. I am not an investment advisor, broker, or dealer.